is Lara, and today I'm going to teach you how to make clay pots using the coil method. What I'm going to be using is Crayola Air-Dry clay, which is very nice for children. It's soft and moist enough, and it dries fairly quickly. It dries in about 2 to 3 days depending on the type of weather that you have in your area. We're also going to be using water. Clear water is fine. And optional, if you don't have them, it's okay, but you can use cookie cutters. Circular cookie cutter is preferable. We're also going to use a dimple tool or what we use to make holes into beads. Again, like I said, if you don't have one, it's fine. And if you have one, you could use a little roller pin. Get a little bit of clay. Doesn't matter how much at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it. I'm going to make a little ball, and I'm going to press it on my table, and I'm going to use my rolling pin. What I'm going to do right now, it's a base. We're making a base so that we can have for our pot. So all I'm doing is rolling it like we're making a tortilla. If you don't have a roller, it is fine. You can always just press it in your hands, go around in a circle, 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 and try to make your circle as best as possible. So you can always shape it with your hands. See, and you still have your perfect circle. Now, if you have a cookie cutter, then you can always just cut it. You get rid of the extra clay that's here, and you leave behind your base. And that's what I will be working with today. So we're gonna grab another piece of clay, and we're gonna start working on our coils. So we have a piece of clay, and we're going to roll it into an oval. So we have an oval type shape, a burrito. So now that we have our type of burrito, we're going to make this one longer to make what is called a coil. So we're going to put it in a flat surface, and first we start with one hand. Notice that I'm using my whole hand. I'm not doing just one finger. If I only use one finger, notice that my coil looks uneven. When you're rolling your coils, make sure that you have an actual round coil. This looks a little bit oval, which means it's going to make it difficult to continue to make into a coil. So make sure that you start rolling it until you get it to an actual, more of a circular coil. Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind, when you're rolling your coil, do not let your hand fall all the way to the front, or notice what I just did to my coil. I just mushed it. Now also, if I go the other way and I let my fingers roll off the coil, notice how I left my finger marks. So we always want to make sure when we're rolling our coil that we roll from the base of our hand to our fingers, to the middle of our fingers, and then I'm back. So we're only rolling from here to here, back and forth. Sometimes when you're rolling your coils, you're gonna have this problem. One side is thin and the other side looks a little bit chubbier. Now we wanna make sure that our coil is all the same thickness all around. So if you do it too many times on one side, well, it's gonna get thinner. So we wanna make sure that if you notice that you start going in the middle, on the side, and you keep on working on the side that looks a little bit thicker until you get all of it the same thickness. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to score my base that we did before. I'm going to score the base, and by scoring we mean that we're going to get either a pointy utensil such as this one, or it could be your own nail. See, I could do that with my nail, or you can use even a fork. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do a lot of little lines around the base of your pot so that it'll help it stick once we put the coil on top.
Your pot is coiled.
Then we're going to do something called slip. And by slip is we're going to add a little bit of water. Now generally in actual pot making, slip means having a mixture of water with diluted clay, but we're just going to use water today. So we put very little water, and then we're going to join our coil to our base. We want a little bigger, that's fine. We add a little water to the edge and we join it together. Now notice that we continue adding coils on top of each coil, and remember that if your project starts getting too dry, all you have to keep on doing is adding more water or slip, and you keep going around and just smooth it out until you get it to how you want it. So I would like to thank my daughter Fatima, who always records and photographs all of our projects.